party people. How is everyone doing today? I want to welcome you to my show, Tried and Tested Podcast. If you are not familiar with this show, first and foremost, I am your host, and my name is Tracey. And this is a dating and relationship podcast where we talk about all things that we've all been through in the past or that we're currently going through in our love life and our relationships. We talk about finances. We talk about marriage. We talk about breaking up. We talk about everything. So today, I have a very special guest. I have my boo, Rini. Say hey, Rini.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, so thank you so much for being my special guest today. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, honey. So without further ado, we're going to go right into the topic. So the topic today is not allowing men to treat you good, okay? Dun, dun, dun. So, I want to say, I guess before, I think I would say as women, but almost every woman has probably been through a situation like this. And I just want to give some background information on how I even came up with this topic. So I had met a girl at I went to some college networking event. I'm not in college anymore. Like I graduated not long ago. But in the event, and I talked about having a relationship podcast. And so she was talking to me, and she was like, yeah, like I have this boyfriend, and it was almost Valentine's Day, and she just was telling me pretty much how they went out for Valentine's Day, but she's the one who took him out. And she let him know that she didn't want any gift, she didn't want anything, but she bought him stuff. And so she continued to tell me that, she doesn't want to ever need a man for anything. And so therefore, like, she tells him all the time, like, I don't want anything from you, but yet she gives to him. So that's kind of where this topic came from, because that's absolutely ridiculous and absurd. And I feel like, I'm like, the man is winning and you're just, what are you doing? So anyhow, Rini, so as far as a man, what is your idea or your thought process on how a good man should treat a woman? Like, what should he be doing?
I feel like in terms of like a relationship, I feel like if I'm going to be dating a man, he has to give me things that I wouldn't necessarily give myself. And I'm not just talking about, material-wise, but like the type of things that he can bring to the table.
Like what? I need you to break it down for me. Like if somebody was like, really, what's a good man? Like what should he be doing? Like I need you to list off
and
what
you know
you
what?
think.
You know what? And in a relationship, for me, I'm like a 50-50 type of girl.
Okay.
And yes, I do expect a man, like if I'm going on a date, I do expect him to cover, the bill.
Of course, yeah.
But I feel like he has to be someone who is stable financially, emotionally, something that will complement me. Like for me, I feel like, okay, my finances are not A1, but I feel like they're pretty stable for me.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna date me, we're gonna have to like at least be matched, or you're gonna have to top that. Like
okay.
I don't feel like I should be settling for less.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So besides his finances, like how do you think a good man should treat a woman?
He should be respectful.
Okay.
Number one, be respectful. Be intellectually stimulating.
Yeah.
Be fun, exciting. Those are, I'm very basic. Like, I don't expect a lot.
It's fine. I'm getting somewhere with the question. That's why. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm very basic, and that's why, I agreed to this topic, because it's like, even though in my head I have all these expectations, when it comes down to it, it's like they're right out the window. It's like, no, you know what? I'll do this. I'll handle this. Just like, the girl that you were talking about in your story.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird.
All right. So let me answer that question then. So I feel like, obviously in order for a man to treat a woman good, I think that he has to be attentive. He has to be kind. He should be helpful. He should be financially stable. Now, he doesn't have to take care of me. He don't have to pay my rent and my bills. No. But it's like you should be able to afford us, going out and having a good time. You should be able to make me smile and, make me happy and, do what a man should do, because essentially we're dating 9 times, well, depending on how old you are and depending on where you are in your life, we're dating for a specific reason, which would lead to marriage. So you have to kind of do things that would kind of make me want to be with you, make me, secure in our relationship and all that kind of thing. So because our topic is that women who don't allow men to treat them good, after what I just named, why would a woman not want that? Like, why would a woman not want those things in order to be in a happy relationship? What do you think?
I think it might come from maybe past relationships or even things that they've experienced in their homes, like from, stemming from their parents. It could be something from that. Maybe their parents didn't, maybe their parents gave them that tough love where it's like you got to fend for yourself type of thing. So you grow up with that mentality, and then, it pours out into your future relationships, right? So, but for me, I think for me it stems from past relationships.
Okay.
And I'm talking I'm in my early 30s right now, but I'm thinking about relationships that I had when I was in my, late teens, very early 20s.
Same here.
I didn't really understand maybe the concept of self-worth. So it's like you get used to people treating you a certain way and you can't really differentiate whether it's right or whether it's wrong. So you just, and that just pours into your future relationships. And it becomes a cycle where it's like, okay, well, I'm used to taking care of myself. And yes, okay, maybe this guy has it all together, but it's like still, like, I don't need you to take care of me. Just be there type of thing.
Yeah. No, that's facts. That's definitely facts.
Yeah. So I think that's what happened to me. And it's something that I'm still battling. Like, right now I'm single because of self-sabotage.
Girl, we have to get that together, okay?
I'm trying, and you know what? Like, I came out of a 3-year relationship last year, and so for me, it's like I'm dating all over again, and it's pretty annoying, but I feel like I'm starting from scratch.
You have to at some point. Like, I feel like if you, so obviously, one of the things that you pointed out that was a really good thing is that obviously, if you are in a situation where you do not allow your partner to treat you good, then it definitely stems from a mindset or something that was taught or something that was learned, whether it was correct or not, like, growing up. Because I definitely feel like that is, I've been there before, and like the same thing, I'm in my early 30s. My very first relationship, which was in my early 20s, I was a whole idiot, okay? Like, young, dumb, dealing with a bum. Like, it was just like, yeah. So it's like, with that, but it's like, because you don't know any better, and I'm not sure, like, for the listeners, you probably are all from different areas. Like, I know with African parents, with my African parents, because they're all different, I didn't really see like that in my home growing up. And then also, I went to a boarding school. So even with that, we would have people that took care of us. But as much as I love to talk about relationships, I had to learn everything from the ground up, right? So it's definitely, like, I was going to ask you, have you ever been a victim in the sense of, not allowing someone to do that, which you have, but do you want to elaborate on that more? Like, how did that relationship work out? How did it go if you were the one who was pretty much not receiving what you should have been receiving?
I mean, I think I'm experiencing it right now. You've seen on my social media that, I moved temporarily to Ghana, for 6 months. and, you know, casually dating or whatever, but I've found somewhat of a love interest, but right now I feel like it's only been a few months. We're not dating seriously, but he would like to, and he's expressed that
Okay.
very candidly, and I'm just like, no, I'm not ready. And it's like, I ask myself, why am I not ready though? You know, and
Yeah.
I answer that question and I relate it back to, you know, the last relationship that I had, which was a long distance relationship. Like, I live in Canada, you
Okay.
know, that's where I'm based.
Yeah.
And my ex-partner lives in Ghana. So I'm like, I don't want to be repeating this. I don't want to be repeating this thing because, you know, the trust I think was the problem.
Yeah.
Because you're not there with your partner every day. You don't know what they're doing. You know how long distance relationships are. Anyone
Yeah.
who's been in them knows the challenges of, you know, trust. So, you know, so it's affecting this sort of relationship that I have or situationship that I have right now, because I'm not allowing him to, you know, love me the way he claims he does because of my past. I'm not allowing him, you know, to even take me out because I don't want to do that. Like, I could do that with myself. I could do that with my girls, you know?
But wait.
So it's like,
Okay.
yes.
So I do have some questions.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
All
go
right.
ahead.
So, okay, obviously, like, with dating and relationships, right, I
Yeah.
mean, depending on what type of woman you are, more than likely you should be able to do everything for yourself to some degree
Right.
because you don't want the man to take care of you. However, because you can do it yourself doesn't mean that you have to, right?
Right.
And that's kind of like where it is. So obviously, like, I like to eat, right? Now, if I
Yep.
wanted to, I could swipe my card wherever I want to go eat at. But no, I like to go on dates. I like to get dressed up. I like to kind of go out, and I like somebody else to pay for it. Not because I can't pay for it, but because, you know, it's the whole idea of just kind of like somebody being nice to you, someone paying attention to you, someone complimenting you. So are you now saying that for you, anything in this world that you can do for yourself, you don't want a man to do it for you, or you don't allow him to do it for you?
Mm, no. Like, for me,
Okay.
I like to eat too, and I like to be, I like to be pampered, but it's like, for me, it's like limited. Like, yes, I'll allow you to take me out to go eat,
Yeah.
but like, if you're calling me to hang out or, you know, do certain things, like, sometimes I'm just like, no, I'm cool. And I don't know if it's 'cause maybe I don't like him enough, but in my heart, I feel like
Mhm.
I do. I feel like I do.
Mhm.
But it's like, in terms of me being in a relationship, that's something where I'm like, okay, hold on, wait a minute. I
Okay.
don't feel like I want to do that just yet. If that makes
Okay.
sense. I'm not sure if that
Yeah.
answers your question.
Well, that does make sense because you're talking just about you don't. So you think the man is a decent man, right? But for some reason, it's not allowing you to want to
To
allow him to pursue you completely.
right,
Okay.
right,
All
and
right.
I'm not. And right now, for me, I'm not shutting down the idea of maybe being in a relationship. Because,
Mhm.
listen, the next relationship that I'm getting in, this thing has to lead to marriage. Like, I don't have any more time to waste.
I feel
I
no.
don't have
I
time to
honestly,
waste.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you
You
on that
know?
100. Yeah. So I
Right.
mean,
Like, I do. Mhm.
I've heard a saying where like, and I have actually a episode about this as well, where nice guys finish last, and it does seem like not everyone,
Yeah.
but you know, we all have types. Women have types of men that they want to deal with. But sometimes it's like you have a man in front of you who is a nice guy, who's a decent person, you know, they have
Yep.
everything, but for some reason you don't like them, right? And you just don't know
Yeah.
why, or you
Yes.
can't you can't deal with them or whatever. And so I don't know if that is the woman's issue, like is it like something within you that okay, you are self sabotaging as you said earlier, or is it just that maybe you just don't like them because there's something wrong with them even though they seem like they're all good?
You
So I
know,
don't really know. Like
I
that's the
don't
question
know
I
if
have
that,
myself.
it might be something that has to do with the woman. It
Mhm.
has to be. I feel
Mhm.
because, you know, I literally stopped talking to a guy because of that exact reason. He was way too nice. He was like, it was just too perfect. So for me, it's like, if you're too nice, I feel like you're concealing something from me. Like you're hiding something from me. Cause you can't be all nice. You can't be all the way nice. Like you can't be a yes man. Like I need some sort of challenge, you know?
So do you want to struggle? Like, I'm confused.
I don't want to struggle, but I don't want it, like, I feel like any real relationship, there's going to be highs and lows. So for you to always be nice and we haven't even argued, and I'm not talking about I want to fight with you, I want to fist fight, not like that. But I mean, like, not everything is yes. Like, I don't trust it enough. So I think for me, that's why nice guys don't last. And I had to stop talking to that guy. He was too nice. He was moving too slow. He was taking his time. And like I said, early 30s, I'm not trying to take my time. But then
so you want,
I can't have a nice guy. It's very contradicting.
So you want somebody
like,
that,
when
yeah,
I
it is.
It is. So and I'm very complicated. And I think you know, that's one of my flaws, and I realize that, and I'm aware of it. Still working on it, but not a nice guy, not a nice guy girl.
But I feel like, okay, so when it comes to like nice people, so obviously like, yes, this is an example of not allowing a man to treat you well because you're assuming that because he's nice today, like he can't get mad at you in 6 months and really let you know. But it's like you want some rah-rah, crazy, you know, guy that's out here, you know, why he didn't call me, where is he at? Like that's, okay, so that is an example of not allowing someone to treat you well because it's kind of like you can, like, what are you arguing about if you just met? Right? So
I know.
And you can still like argue with people, or you can, you know, do it in a kind manner. You can deal with things in other ways, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, what people are dealing with men, like, because obviously what I would say, right, is you're in your early 30s, I'm in my early 30s. So obviously in my 20s, I learned a lot of lessons, and of course you'll learn lessons until the day that you die. However, it's like, you know what kind of person is not good for you, right? And I think the only way to kind of take a step back from that is to kind of like isolate yourself in a, you know, in a manner. Like, and this for me, this is what like my process has been, like, as far as shifting, because I was meeting a certain type of person and I'm like, man, like, why do I keep meeting? And they weren't all like the same, but they were just no good. They were just, you know, garbage men. And so I'm like, but then the people that were decent, like, I would try to friend zone them because I'm like, oh, they're cool. But the reality of it is they're men and they don't want to be your friends. And, you know, so it is what it is. But I think, like, for me to get out of that, not allowing men to treat me good, I had to switch my mindset. Like, I literally had to stop dating. And this happened to me by force. It was just getting too, like, crazy. And so I had to stop dating altogether. I had to, like, you know, really find God and get closer to God. I had to work on myself. Like, I had to take my job more seriously. I had to take my business more seriously, including this podcast. Like, I had to focus on myself, like, not about going out and trying to meet this guy and that guy. And then with that, hopefully, it's going to get me to, you know, finding people who actually are worth your time, you know, and can actually treat you well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's totally true.
It's crazy out here a little bit.
It is, and I find, like, you know, it's true because I think your tactics are smart because I feel like for me, coming out of my 3-year relationship, I didn't give myself time to, you know, to heal from that breakup, to reassess, and ask myself really, like, what do I want going forward? Instead of doing that, I started, you know, I jumped back into the dating pool and was dating and meeting men and, you know, trying to see where things led to. They didn't lead to anywhere because I didn't reassess.
Yes, you're still the same.
You know? Yep. Exactly. I'm still the same.
But just more damage than you were when you began. Yes, honey.
And that's just going to hurt. That's just going to hurt a man who's really in it for me, who really wants
Yeah.
to be with me, who wants to treat me right, because I'm not giving them that opportunity to do it because
Yeah.
of all this built up, damage
Yeah.
to myself.
That's,
So,
and I would say that for the women who are in a position where they don't allow men to treat them well, I would say that
mhm,
that is a form of like damage. Like there's something wrong with us as women, right? If you ever been
right,
in that position, because you probably have lower self-esteem than you should. You're
mhm,
probably some type of insecure. And it's like these type of situations where you feel like, well, he doesn't have to do all of this for me. It's kind of just like you're wasting your time. And it's just
mhm,
like you're allowing him to, because I feel like with some men, what they'll do is, okay, well, I'll date her, if she wants to give me this and she wants to help me with this. But then they're going to find someone they actually care for that's going to allow them to be the man in the relationship, I think.
absolutely, absolutely,
Yep. So, I mean,
yeah.
well, before we wrap this up, do you have any last minute advice for any listener, whether male or female, but we are speaking to the women today, that are possibly in a situation where they feel like, oh, I don't want the man to do all of this, and I don't want the man to this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Like,
Mm.
what would you say to them to kind of shift that mindset?
I would say, consider your self worth at the end of the day. Like, know what you want out of
Hmm.
your partner, and really just be real with yourself, and come to terms with what you've been through, what you're going through now, and what you want in the future. And I think everything will align. And it's something that I'm still working on. We're all not perfect, so I think even having this conversation with you, like
Hmm.
even taking some of advice that you've given, like, okay, you've gotten closer, to God, you stopped
Hmm.
dating, you're taking your business and your work life more seriously. I think those are some really key things that women like myself should really practice and apply to our lives. Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Okay.
sure.
Definitely. So yes. Well, so before we go, obviously I know that some of the listeners may want to add you, or they may want to ask you any questions. Who knows? So what is your social media handle? So if they want to get in contact with you, they will be able to find you.
Yeah, so I'm heavy on Instagram, so anyone can add me on Instagram at Rini, that's RINI Rich. So Rini Rich. And on what am I on? Snapchat, it's Rini the number 4 Prez, that's PREZ. Those are the two socials that I'm on a lot. So follow me there.
Okay. Yes, honey. Well, thank you so much for, chatting with me today, giving a little insight to the
Yeah,
ladies out there. I really do appreciate it. And then to my
for
listeners,
sure.
you guys, thank you guys all for tuning in so much. And I hope that everyone has an awesome, rest of your day or whatever time you're listening to this.
Whatever whatever day it is, have a good day.
Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, have a good one, guys.
Thank